Well, there were a lot of hearings last week. It was very interesting to watch some of them. I thought, Bill Barr got called in by Jerry Nadler and their committee and asked to testify. And you have to watch some of this testimony because I found it infuriating. What's the words to describe the Democrats and the way that they behaved? The one that I thought of that seemed to be most appropriate was shameless. I heard some people say infantile, and that one works for me too. The way they treated the Attorney General was absolutely completely undignified. There's a very understated way of putting it. That was an undignified. But we had a couple of clips. I wanted to share some of them with you because this will give you some sense for how the hearing went. We may have to do this over too, but let's see if we can get them both in before the break. But this will give you a little sense of how the hearing went last week. This is the clip on reclaiming my time, and we got some more of this kind of stuff. But this is pretty much summarizes the way the hearing went for Attorney General Bill Barr.
It wasn't reclaiming my time. In April,
times is when does something actually become custom
reclaiming my time? This is not a trick question.
in this country?
I'm reclaiming my time, Mr. General.
Without any remedy at all.
I'm reclaiming my time. Let me share with you.
Well, you got to let him answer.
reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time, sir. Reclaiming my time.
But he found
Reclaiming my time without political bias.
He said he
and in
found no
April,
evidence.
reclaiming my time, Mr. Attorney.
Reclaiming
my time. Reclaiming my time, Mr. Barr.
Occurring substances.
Attorney General, reclaiming my time.
Reclaiming
there
my
are
time.
rules by which we operate here. I would ask you to respect them.
But the 64 Act did not extend to...
Reclaiming my time, sir. In both documents...
Mr. Attorney General, reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time.
I think that's what it's...
Okay, reclaiming my time. And again, I'm happy...
Shame on you, Mr. Barr.
Can I just say, Mr.
Shame on you.
Can I just
My
say...
time has expired.
I'm so glad you illustrated that because that was the sense that I got from it. Like, you're not here to ask questions and do an actual investigation. You're here to pontificate and of your opinion, opine on your opinion. Yes.
Yeah. Well, they were making a bunch of statements at him, and they were phrasing some of them in the form of a question. When he would try to answer their question, they wouldn't even let him get an entire sentence out. And they would come with this, reclaiming my time, reclaiming my time. I mean, it's just, we got another clip that's got some more of that kind of stuff in it, because this was basically the entire day-long hearing. I mean, how rude, but really just ask yourself the question, why did you want the guy in to testify? Why did you want him in to testify if every time he tried to say something or answer your question, now you may not like the answer, but that's fine. But if you didn't like the answer and you didn't want to hear what he had to say, why did you have him in to testify? That's what doesn't make any sense. They didn't have him in to testify. They shouldn't call it a hearing. They should call it a beratement. We'll be right back.
And we are back on the Morgan Streetman Show. Boy, those were some pretty telling clips we were listening to as we went to the break as to how that hearing went with Attorney William Barr.
Yeah, it was pretty much the same the entire time. I mean, and I have to say, Bill Barr was very dignified himself throughout most of it. I was a little disappointed he didn't fight a little harder to be allowed to answer some of these charges. Now, by the way, during the break, I did look up beratement because I thought, is beratement actually a word? I mean, obviously, I know berate is a verb, but is beratement a noun? Because I just used it, and I'm not even sure. But and it appears that it is. So I'm glad to see that. For one, I could just make up words, and they're actually legitimate words. But this, I wanted to just say, what does berate mean? It means to rebuke or scold angrily and at length, to chide vehemently, scold, to rate or chide vehemently. Those are some of the meanings of berate. So beratement is the act of berating. So anyway, let's hear some more beratement of Attorney General William Barr.
No. What is correct is that what is corrected on February 10th, Monday. I gave instructions as to what
reclaiming my time.
Yeah, I'm answering your question.
Well, you got to let him answer.
Reclaiming my time.
On February 10th,
Sir.
On February 10th, I directed.
Reclaiming my time, sir. reclaiming my time, and I know you don't want to answer.
You are wrong, Mr. Attorney General. He's found the investigation had been initiated properly.
He said he found
reclaiming my time without political bias.
He said he
and
found
in
no
April,
evidence.
reclaiming my time, reclaiming my time, reclaiming my time
without any remedy at all.
I'm reclaiming my time.
When people resist law enforcement, they're not peaceful.
Reclaiming my time. I'm surprised at your lack of respect.
Gentleman does not have the time.
I don't want the time. I want the Attorney General to be able to have enough time to respond to accusations and questions asked him, and you guys not cut him off.
What you want is irrelevant.
Do you have anything you want to say in response to the speeches that have been given by the other side, and then you've been cut off?
Yeah, well, let's on Lafayette.
The gentleman's time has expired.
That it is not a self-defining term as they
only got 2 minutes, sir.
That they recognized.
Mr. Barr, if I
Yeah, but this is a hearing. I thought I was the one that was supposed to be heard.
There you go.
Good.
Just about sums it up. This is a hearing. I thought I was the one who was supposed to be heard.
Why do they have to act that way?
It literally seemed like a game show.
Yes.
Well, they don't want him to talk. I mean, that's the point. They don't want him to be able to answer, to explain himself, any of that.
Well, who brought him in there?
They did. That's it. That's the point. They brought him in there.
To make their points.
To make their points. That's the only thing they did. And I'll tell you, there was another, this was kind of the coup de grace in terms of rudeness. And you got to hear this one. Now, at the end, we'll just say, if you listen to the whole thing, they end up cracking. The Democrats end up cracking on this one. But at one point, they were refusing to give him a bathroom break. Guy needed to use the bathroom. Didn't want to say that, but he said, I need a 5-minute break. I just need a quick 5-minute break. They wouldn't give it to him. Listen to this.
Gentleman will suspend. Without objection, the material will be entered into the record. Ms. Dean is recognized.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, could we take a 5-minute break?
Dean is recognized.
Could we take a 5-minute break, Mr. Chairman?
No.
That's a common courtesy,
Dean is
Mr. Chairman, of every witness.
I waited an hour for you this morning. I haven't had lunch. I'd like to take a 5-minute break.
Mr. Attorney General, we are almost finished. We're going to be finished in a few minutes. Otherwise, we can certainly take a break. But
You're class.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
After this, if you still want, we'll have a break.
No, he wants a break now.
You want it now?
And you just mentioned rudeness. I think we're seeing it on display. Let's let the Attorney General have a break.
Committee will stand in recess now.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You know, you really shouldn't have to argue to get a bathroom break.
Mm-mm.
I mean, what if he just got up and walked and just said, I'm leaving? What are they going to do, Mr. Sergeant at Arms? Arrest that man? I mean...
I did see him drinking some coffee, too, during that. You know, that goes through you.
Yeah. Well, and he made the point, you know, everybody had to wait an hour for Chairman Nadler to show up because Chairman Nadler had a little fender bender on the way, and everybody patiently waited for him to show up, you know, but that's the way these people operate. They're a bunch of hypocrites. It's rules for thee, not rules for me. Thank you for listening to the Morgan Streetman Show. We hope you enjoyed what you heard, and if you did, please click like and subscribe to help us out. And remember that we recommend that you exercise your brain at least once a week.